If AI replaces predictable work, become unpredictable. That is the thesis. And today, we are going to break down exactly what that means with 5 specific skills that AI cannot touch. At least not yet. Welcome back to Code Sunset. I am Ethan Cole. We have spent 4 episodes laying out the problem, the structural shift, the timeline, the productivity trap, the junior death spiral. If you have been watching in order, you might be feeling a bit grim. That is fair. But today, we pivot. Because understanding the threat is only useful if it helps you build a strategy. So let us build one. The core principle is this: AI is exceptional at pattern matching. It excels at tasks that have clear inputs, known outputs, and repeatable steps. What it struggles with, fundamentally, is ambiguity, context, and consequence. That is where you need to live. Here are the 5 skills that keep you valuable. Skill number 1, systems thinking. This is the ability to understand how components interact across an entire system, not just the piece you are working on. AI can write a function. It can even write a microservice. But it cannot understand that changing the caching strategy on service A will create a race condition with service B, which will increase load on the database, which will trigger auto-scaling that blows past your cloud budget. That kind of reasoning requires holding the entire system in your head simultaneously, understanding the second and third order effects. Senior engineers at companies like Netflix and Stripe are valued precisely because they can trace a change through 15 interacting services and predict where it will break. AI sees code. Systems thinkers see consequences. Skill number 2, cross-domain judgment. This is the ability to make decisions that span multiple disciplines: engineering, product, design, security, compliance, cost. A real engineering decision is almost never purely technical. Should we build this feature on our existing monolith or spin up a new service? The technical answer might be new service. But the cross-domain answer factors in that your team is already stretched thin across 6 services, your compliance audit is in 3 months, and the monolith approach ships in half the time. AI can evaluate technical trade-offs against documented patterns, but it cannot weigh organizational fatigue, political dynamics, or the fact that your best infrastructure engineer just gave notice. Cross-domain judgment is inherently human because it requires synthesizing information that no model has access to. Skill number 3, business translation. This is the ability to take a vague business requirement and turn it into a concrete technical plan, and equally, to take a complex technical constraint and explain it to a non-technical stakeholder in terms they care about. This skill is criminally undervalued by engineers and desperately valued by companies. The engineer who can sit in a strategy meeting, hear a CEO say, "We need to be faster," and translate that into a specific infrastructure investment with measurable ROI is worth more than 5 engineers who can only write code. AI can generate documentation. It cannot read a room, sense that the CTO is nervous about cloud costs, and reframe a proposal accordingly. Skill number 4, human negotiation. Software is built by teams of people with competing priorities. The product manager wants features. The security team wants lockdowns. The infrastructure team wants stability. The business wants speed. Navigating these tensions, building consensus, knowing when to compromise and when to push back, this is pure human territory. Every experienced engineer knows that the hardest part of shipping software is not the code. It is the people. AI has no model for organizational politics, no understanding of trust, no concept of when to fight for a technical decision and when to let it go. The engineers who can negotiate effectively across teams will always be in demand because they are the glue that holds complex projects together. Skill number 5, risk intuition. This is perhaps the most subtle and the most valuable. Risk intuition is the ability to sense when something is wrong before you can prove it. It is the feeling you get when a deployment looks clean, but something about the metrics does not feel right. It is the instinct to add an extra check on a payment flow, even though the specs do not require it. It is knowing that a particular vendor is going to become a problem in 12 months, because you have seen the pattern before. This kind of intuition is built through years of experience, through failures, through near misses, through watching systems break in ways nobody predicted. AI operates on probability distributions from training data. Risk intuition operates on pattern recognition from lived experience. They are fundamentally different. Now here is the connecting thread. None of these skills are about writing code faster. They are about thinking better. AI generates answers. Humans decide consequences. That distinction is everything. If you spend your career optimizing your ability to type code, you are competing with a machine that types infinitely faster. You will lose that race every time. But if you spend your career developing judgment, developing the ability to make better decisions in ambiguous situations, you are competing in a space where AI is genuinely weak. Stop competing with AI at typing. Start competing at thinking. That is not a motivational slogan. That is a survival strategy. So I want to ask you honestly, which of these 5 skills do you actually practice? Not which ones do you think you have. Which ones are you actively developing? Be honest with yourself and drop it in the comments. Subscribe to CodeSunset. Next episode, we are going to tackle a role that everyone assumed was safe. You think DevOps is safe? It is not. And I will explain why.